A big welcome to you, my dear Virgo. So we have today a very special moment because the sun is in your sign and we see that you are up in the sky having that glow, and you also have the moon in your sign, and so both of them are in your sign, and it's not a new moon. You had that last time. You have a moon. But what's going to happen is the moon is going to go in front of the sun. You have a solar eclipse. And so you need to look again into what it is that you want to show to the world. How do you want to give this light to the people? Because you have the moon coming in front of the sun, and from the earth we see that, right? And so that's the story. You are alone up there with the sun and with the moon. And the moon itself has no light, right? Is this the moon? Is this the moon? Right? Or what is going on here? And you see that Salvador Dali is giving you quite a message, because the sun somehow has this dark side, and here the moon is like really glowing, right? When the moon goes over the sun, then we don't see the sun, and it's a really, really important moment for you to look deeper into yourself. So we're going to look at the Knight of Pentacles and at the Queen of Swords. Both of them have the Hermit above. And so this is the first reading and this is the second. Here it's the classical Knight of Pentacles. Is your birthday between the 22nd of August to the 11th of September, then this is the first part of the reading. And is your birthday between the 12th to the 23rd of September, then this is the second part of the reading. And here I have a time that you can jump into if you are here this combination. Just that you know, that's where I'm working at right now. That's where my focus is. And of course, there is one mix which was in the previous reading, because this was in Leo, and that's if your birthday is between the 13th to the 21st of August. Then you have above you the Strength card, Leo, and below you have the Knight of Pentacles. Just that you know, this is in the previous reading, and also there is a time that you can jump into that reading. So, back to the last one where you had Virgo, Sun and New Moon. And the Knight of Pentacles moving on is your breakthrough. And the Queen of Swords, your intuition opens your heart. Now that's when we read to the left. And now we are already going to the right. So just that you know, that's why the Knight is on this side and the Queen is on this side. And just that you understand, right? I do readings to the right and I do readings to the left. So that's my crazy or eclectic way of doing these readings. And I do it because we have 6 months to the full moon and we have 6 months to the new moon, and it's a different energy. And when I read the cards to the right, it's more extroverted, and when I read to the cards to the left, it's more introverted. So let's begin. Here we begin with the Knight of Pentacles. He's connected with the 6th house of working and loving a routine, right? He loves it. He is into it. And so out of Dali's deck comes the Knight of Swords. And he's a knight like you, but he goes in the opposite direction. Always remember, when we become the card, right, then he goes to the right and he goes to the left. But when we look at it, it's the other side. So there's a cycle in communication, in what's your worth, in the way you work, in your routine. The 6 and the 3 is the 9. And so the Hermit is appearing, right? You coming into a completion, because Gemini is actually connected through Mercury, which is the magician. And we have Uranus in Gemini for 7 years, and it's gonna affect you. And so here comes Gemini and is saying, well, come with me again, out into the world. And he's like, no, I like to go inwards, right? That's what I like to do. And it's like, okay, maybe I come with you. But it's, you know, right now you should go with here, the Gemini energy, with the communication. You should go outward again, because your time going outward is now happening again. And so I want to see what is Gemini bringing. It's bringing the Queen of Cups, which comes after Gemini, right? And so here you see the 3 and the 4 is the 7. That's the emotional intelligence that we have when we start connecting with our emotions, with our feelings, and heal on a very profound way. The 7 and the 6 is the 13. The 13, a transformation that comes to you, a profound transformation where you open yourself up in the way you communicate, in the way you going forward, the way you think, and the way you express your ideas that are happening here above you. Now, what is the Queen of Cups saying? And you get the Princess of Wands. And so here we have the pages. And the Princess of Wands are Aries, and of course Leo, and Sagittarius. And so you see that here comes the action. So here is the money, here is the mind, here are the emotions, and here are the actions. So this is a 3-3 portal because there are 3 zodiac signs in here, right? And the 6 and the 4 is a 10. So we have a new path going outwards towards being a healer, towards taking action in whatever it is that you want to do. Do it, right? Because now the 6 months to the full moon are happening to you, and we're reading to the right. And this is where I love doing these readings, because I'm noticing these little details, right? And this is why my readings take time. You need to literally like study with me what's going on here, right? And so that's what I love. So the 33 and the 10, a new cycle can begin. So then I want to see what is the Mother Peace Tarot bringing, because those cards are round and you have the Priestess of Discs to the right, and that's Capricorn. She's doing yoga, she's actually active, right, in healing herself, but for some reason it's not there yet. She's facing down, she's facing to the right. And I want to see what is she bringing to the table, because she's a 10, then you have a 10-10 portal, right, with the Queen of Cups and you. So here are a lot of people, you see that, right? We have Gemini, and then we have here Cancer, major people, and then you have young people, Aries and Leo, and of course Sagittarius. Now you have a Capricorn coming, the 10. So you have a 10-10 and the 33. And Capricorn brings you the 8 of Wands. And that's Mercury in Sagittarius. So it's like, she's literally saying, yes, go for it. Put that arrow out there. Go and see the world. Go and travel. Go and show yourself again. Go these next 6 months outwards. And it's like, that's the arrow. That's where here all the 3 wands are doing, right? Aries, Leo, and Sagittarius. And so here, Mercury in Sagittarius, Mercury is the magician, is what rules you, right? Is what rules Gemini. And so you are seeing here a clear movement out. Mercury saying, go and take that world. It's gonna go fast. The 10 and the 8, the 18, that's the moon that is going in front of the sun and is saying for a moment, have a look. Where do you want to go? What do you want to achieve in this world? Achieve it and love it. So what is happening when Gemini is with this whole constellation? We get the 18 and the 3, the 21. The whole world is now ready for you to be taken, in the way you communicate, in the way you financially making the money, but it's still not fully clear, right? And still you have the 8 of Wands. It's like the 21, the 3. That's here the Empress talking. What is coming with here the Queen of Cups? You get the 22. And the 22 is Uranus. Uranus is in Gemini, and Gemini has come up, and you are seeing now a new way of communication is happening, and use that, right? Open yourself to it, become the healer, and focus in bringing it out into the world. What is happening here? Again, the 21. In the world, we need to take action. Words sometimes are beautiful, right? And feelings are beautiful, but if you don't take action, what's going to happen? Nothing, right? And so here you have the 8 and the 3, that's an 11. 11 and the 10, 3 times the 1 and the 0. So you see, take action, right? Look at Aries, look at Leo, look at Sagittarius, and Mercury in Sagittarius is saying, go for it, right? Infinite is the potential in making money, in being successful, in maybe in the yoga world, right? So that you show to the people that you can do that. And now with you, right, we have the 18 plus the 6 is the 24. The 6 is left. And so here you see clearly that if you go this path, you coming out again, and you can make these ideas really a success. Make it happen, right? Because it's supposed to happen. Otherwise, it wouldn't come up in this type of constellation the way it came up. Amazing. Now the Queen of Swords, she's connected with the 7th house of relationship, right, and love, and she's the 7. And so out of her deck comes the 6 of Pentacles, which is the moon in Taurus. And Taurus is the money, right? The 7 and the 6 is the 13. There's a transformation in the way you are now working with money. You are giving the money. You're not thinking about it. You're not like questioning, can I give it, right? Give and receive equally. And it's just beautiful because the 13 comes, and that's a big transformation in the way we work with money, in the way we understand money, right? Money is material energy, and we can understand on a mental level how that feels, but you need to dive into the money to understand that money is something important, something amazing. So the 4 is left when we calculate the 13 together. So I want to see what is the moon in Taurus bringing. And the deck for the moon says the 49, skywriting the fates. So here you fated, right? And the 9 and the 4, the 13. So you see there's a 13-13 portal and then a 4-4 portal. It's written in the sky. It's your fate to come into the 4-4 portal. 2 times 4, be creative in the way you become established, sitting in a square, or in the way you open your heart, right? The self-love, in the way you live with money, in the way you act with money. Money is something beautiful if you understand its value, if you understand its energy behind it. And so there is a 13-13 portal. Look at that, right? It's amazing. And so then a 4-4 portal. What is coming from Taurus? You get the 7 of Wands, which is Mars in Leo. And Mars is, of course, the energy of a warrior. He's defending himself. There are 6 wands, there are 6 pentacles, but he has the 7th one, and you have the sword, right? You are the 7. There's a 7-7 portal. And here, when we calculate this together, we get the 13. The 13 and the 6 is the 19. That's the sun. And then the 10 is left. And so a 7-7 portal with the 10 in between, a new cycle where it's written in the sky how you are working with money, you defending also your actions, the way money comes to you, the way money goes out from you. And that's where the 7 of Wands comes in, because that's, like I said, Mars in Leo. And Leo is passionate, right? Leo says, I defend my work, my actions here. Wonderful, right? So it's 7, 7, and then here the 19, the 10 is left. But I could also calculate here the 13, then the 4, and the 6 is also a 10. The 10 always then stays left. Good. So now I'm also going to see what is the Mother Piece Tarot saying. And for me, the Mother Piece Tarot is important because they're round and they have meaning in all 4 directions. So here you get Temperance to the right. And Temperance is saying, go for it, go out there. And Temperance is Sagittarius. And so we're going to look at Sagittarius. We're going to look what Sagittarius is bringing. The 14, then when we calculate together, we get the 5. And the 5 is that human aspect in us that wants to mix water and fire. Now, what is Sagittarius bringing? Mars. And you have Mars in Leo here, right? So Leo is also fire sign, Sagittarius is also fire sign, and now comes Mars, the shield, right? The pierced shield, the tower. And you see the 5 and the 16, the 7 is the 12, and the 12 is Neptune, or all 12 zodiac signs, and the 3 is left out of that, and that's the Empress. See what you can do with that. It's almost like you are here needing to protect yourself. What is the Tower bringing? The Fire Ant. So sometimes you get agitated, you get pushed, right? And so, like I said, the 5, and here the 16, which is then the 7, the 5 and the 7, the 12 plus the 1 is the 13, and then you again have a 13 portal, and again a 4, and with you the Queen of Swords and the 6 of Pentacles, also 13, 3 times the 4. Self-empowerment in the heart, self-empowerment in knowing that you can be someone that's stable, but also someone that's filled with the heart. And so you see that this agitation is where the pierced shield has a little opening, and this is where the ants go. So understand the ants. The ants are intense animals, right? It's a fire sign, and it's the number 1. And sometimes here comes the rigid thinking. Letting go of the rigid thinking. Aggression or following orders. Fire ants' energy flares up without us noticing. It's the force that attracts us to people and situations that feed our imbalances rather than those that counter them. Gossiping and blaming are a few indicators that misaligned fire ant energy is at play. So you may also find yourself stewing on a person or situation, only making things worse. It's really clear, right? How can you break free from the drama and cool down? Fire ants are surprisingly sensitive. Don't pretend the heat isn't getting to you. So become aware, become sensitive, and see that you have fire, that you have Mars fire and the ants fire. And of course, the 14 and the 16 is the 30. The 3 and the 0. The 30 plus the 1, the 31. And so the 4 is left here. Now we're going to see what these 3 say to the 6, the 4 and the 6, the 10. A new cycle can begin if you understand that all these energies are pushing you to look at money in a different way. Then here we have the 13 or the 4, right? The 4-4 portal. With this, the 4-4, again, become creative in your heart, become creative in the way you are established, and know it's written in the skies that you can move and go on. And then the 7 and the 4 is the 11, a portal. Using that 11 as understanding that in the 11 is 2 times the 1, 2 times the 1, gives you the protection and the opening for the shield, because we also have a 7-7 portal here, and then we have the 14 plus the 1, which is the 15, and that's Capricorn. That's actually the climbing up the ladder, that's the career. That's that moment where we then get into a 6, and in the 6 we come into the self-love. And you understand, right, that then there is the 611 or the 11-6 as a portal for you. Beautiful, right? How everything just makes sense. And the same is happening with you with the 7, right? You're kind of looking away from this and this and this. You're looking to the sword. You're looking for the solution in your mind, but sometimes you need to take actions. And so again, right, you have here the 7. If I do 7 and 1 is the 8, right? And of course here we see that the 7-7 is also happening, plus the 14 plus the 1 is the 15, the 6 is left. And you see we can get into different stories when we calculate it together in a different way. So I'm not going to go all crazy. You can look at yourself and be like, oh, how can I make my own story here? But you see that you are learning something really clearly. Go and become really clear deep within you how you want to go out there. See that you have the pierced shield. See that certain things need to go because also this aggression is happening and you don't want this aggression anymore. You want to free yourself from that aggression. You want to move on from that and see that you are ready to take a new fate upon you. The 13 and then the 4 is left, right? And the 4 and the 7, the 11 portal, right? And the 7-7 portal, you know that you can defend yourself, right? Either in action or with a sword. And it's clear you're ready to be who you're meant to be. Amazing. Beautiful, both readings, amazing. I hope I see you in the next reading. That's when we get the sun in Libra. Until then, I thank you so much for being with me. Namaste.